All right. Welcome to the Week 11 preview show with Love for the Game. My name is Reed. We got Roddy, a.k.a. Perlito, up here. How's it going, brother?
Hey man, another day in the life, man. It's feeling good. How about you?
We're here, bro. Survive another day. Um,
There you go.
I wanted to start the show just prefacing something that I heard today, and you were part of the conversation in Sosa's space about well, it was the Calling the Shots show that he does about the NBA, but I just wanted to preface something that you guys were talking about in that show for a good portion of it, and it really hit home with me. I'm not going to go into specifics, but um, mental health is a real thing. We all deal with, specific things that a lot of people don't know about, especially, on Twitter and stuff like that. Uh, people come to us for, just our insights on football, betting, other sports in general. Um, but I just wanted to put that out there that mental health is a real thing. I go through it. I'm sure Roddy does it on some level. Colton No Sports is also in
Yep.
here. Speaking of Sosa, he also just tapped in the building. So I'm glad he's actually going to hear this live. But I appreciate you guys and what you talked about on that space earlier today. It really hit me on a personal level, and I know that any one of the people, any one of the guys that were up there talking, I could go to about anything, and I know that. So uh, I appreciate Sosa, you, Roddy, and all the people that were in there talking in that space earlier. I really appreciated that. That honestly made my day. So just wanted to start off the
Yeah,
show with that.
man. Hey, appreciate you too. Appreciate everybody that listens weekly. Life is so simple, but it can be very complex. As the son of a psychologist, I know very well that mental health is an actual thing. I always bring this quote up: "Your brain is the only organ in your body that named itself, and all of your other body parts, all of the other things that we see in everyday life. So there's power to that. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's the most powerful organ in your body. It's damn near the most powerful organ, of all time. Shit.
Facts.
So
Yeah,
make sure you're feeding it, with good energy on a daily, doing things you love, making sure, because we get up here and talk about college football, man, for the hour and an hour and a half that we got. But, sometimes people really need that escape. So we're glad to be here for y'all, doing what we do, making money, feeling good. We do lose too. So, we have to deal with that as well. So, yeah, man, I appreciate everybody, and, check on your people. That's the number one thing you got to do. Make sure
for
they're okay,
sure.
and make sure yourself's okay as well.
For sure. Always check in on the people closest to you, the people around you, just you know, even if it's just simply asking, how's your day going? Like, are you having a good day? Like, just as simple as that, that can make someone's day. So, uh, peace, love, and positivity, that's something I stand by wholeheartedly. And again, I'm glad Sosa's in the building to hear me say that. So I appreciate Sosa in that conversation that was had earlier today, for sure. So, on a lighter note, we are here to talk college football, the best sport on the planet. So let's waste no more time getting into that. All the odds and lines presented on the show tonight are through Onyx Odds. Make sure you use code LFTG. You get a free $100 bonus bet with signing up through Onyx using code LFTG. So would appreciate everyone tapping in with them. We are hooked on Onyx. Always remember that. So to start the slate, we have a huge game tomorrow night. We have the Tulane Green Wave going on the road to Memphis. Somehow Memphis is not ranked in the new and improved college football playoff rankings, but that's another story. Memphis is laying 3.5 to Tulane at home. Total is around 53.5. Uh, I think this is a huge Memphis spot, just solely because of the performance that Tulane put out last week on the road at UTSA. Kind of expected more from them in that game, and then they got blown out by 20 plus points on the road. So another road spot uh, on a semi-short week. They play on a Friday, but they played on a Thursday last week. So Jake Retzloff ended up getting benched in that game for Tulane last week. So don't know the status of him. I'm sure he's good to go. I mean, health-wise, physically, but I mean, like just the psychology of that. Like you have to think that's got to play a role in how he's going to play in this game if he does end up getting the start for the Green Wave. On the other side, Memphis is rolling with quarterback Brendan Lewis. Got a huge win last week at Rice. They ended up playing with their food, and ended up winning that game in a huge way. So look out for Brendan Lewis and his dual threat ability. He can get busy on the ground and through the air. So Memphis quarterback Brendan Lewis is definitely probably the key player to watch in this game for me. My model has this as a wider margin in the favor of Memphis at a 8.5-point spread. So my thoughts agree with the model. I'm gonna lay the 3.5 with Memphis. Again, if I say I'm laying a bet, I will specifically state that I'm making it a best bet. But as of right now, nothing is a best bet on my board right now. But I like Memphis with the points here. I like Memphis winning by at least a touchdown or more. So I'm going to take the 3.5 with Memphis. Roddy, thoughts on the Green Wave at the Tigers? He might be doing something. He might be doing something. We'll give him a second. But let me pull up something. There was something that I saw on this game. I'm going to see if I can find it again that I saw earlier. One second. So good evening, my friend.
Good day, sir. Hey, man. I don't have shit on this game, actually. I'm just, yeah. I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I do like the slate this week though, and I do like there's like a lot of banter in regards to upsets and stuff, which is something I do love. You know.
Nothing wrong with a few upsets, that's for sure. And just one more time, I appreciate the dialogue that you led earlier today. Really appreciate
absolutely, man. You really, it's really a shout out to Mike, man, Mike Jones.
that. Facts.
Because he brought up the situation that took place in Dallas, and it's important to realize that we're strangers, but we're all human beings.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not perfect, and I don't ever claim to be. So understanding that lets you know that others have issues and problems that they deal with every day, and it's about being aware and hoping that they themselves aren't in a headspace that's negative, which is very important, like Roddy mentioned.
For sure. Yeah, if no one tuned in to Sosa's calling the shots,
Yeah.
Go check out his page, calling the shots. You can also find it on his Sosa Picks page.
Yeah, it's in my bio. In my bio. If you guys want to go back and hear some positivity and some positive reinforcement to your daily walk in life, go check that out.
For sure. Yeah, go check out that recording. Again, I listened to it live and just sitting there at work, I was like, damn, this shit for real, bro. Like this is one of the deepest conversations I've ever heard like all of us get into. So appreciate everyone in that space again. But heading back to the slate real quick. Again, I like Memphis with the points just to finish off that game. So you said you didn't really have much for that spot.
Yeah, nothing for me.
All right. So next one I had down here. I unfortunately have to talk about this, but it's going to be the number 2 ranked Indiana Hoosiers going on the road to State College, Pennsylvania to take on the skeleton, the corpse of the Penn State Nittany Lions. Indiana is laying 14.5 on Onyx. Total is at 50.5. As a pure betting perspective on this game, not talking from a Penn State perspective, I feel comfortable laying the points with Indiana. I feel like, again, Indiana is still viewing themselves as an underdog. As long as Signetti is going to be their head coach, which he will now be for a very long time, you have to view him as an underdog, and that's just the mentality. That's just the mentality of that team. They do not care one bit about the notoriety that they're getting, the hype that they're getting. Granted, it's all warranted because they are a really good team. But again, Indiana laying 14.5, I feel very comfortable, laying that number from a pure betting perspective. I kind of similar thoughts to last week with Penn State against Ohio State. I'm pulling up the live. If you can find Penn State's first half spread, I think Penn State finds some way at home to keep it close in the first half. But again, don't get your hopes up that they, pull out the outright upset. So if you can find Penn State on the spread in the first half, or even like what's Penn State's team total? 16.5 is the current number on Onyx. Don't hate that. Could maybe see a backdoor, cover, or at least, getting over that number at some point in the game. But again, purely not a Penn State perspective here. I'm comfortable laying the 14.5 with Indiana. Sosa, any thoughts on the Hoosiers at the Nittany Lions?
How many more home games y'all got left?
We got this one and then Nebraska in 2 weeks.
I think y'all are going to fight a little bit in this game. I don't know if it's a blowout straight from the beginning. I probably take y'all in the first half. I think y'all fight a little bit at the crib. I don't think Penn State's just going to go out here and get smoked. Now, Indiana has been a machine, for the most part this season. They haven't really dealt with too much, but I think you guys could circle the wagons and give them a fight in the first half. It's obviously, like you said, it's very tough, but I think 14.5 is a lot of points. And again, if you give me like 8 in the first half, it's very tempting to give Penn State a chance at the crib. If the game was in Indiana, I would lean the other way. But I think in the first half you guys can survive and give them some level of, I wouldn't say a scare, but the game still starts at 0-0.
Yeah, for sure. And I've said this last week for the Ohio State game. A non-negotiable in any game the rest of the season is Kaytron Allen at least has to get 20 to 25 carries minimum to have any sort of hope on the ground, because our passing game is non-existent with Grunkemeyer at quarterback. So I think they have to heavily lean on the run. It has to be the sole and basically only focus of their offense if they have any sort of chance in this game. Colton, you just got up here. What's up, my brother? How are you?
Yo, what's good? I just got done with some stuff. Is this Indiana and Penn State?
Yes, sir. What are your thoughts?
Indiana.
Yep. Yeah. I don't really have any pushback on that.
Yeah, I haven't looked too deeply at that one, but I mean, something in my gut's telling me that.
God damn it, bro!
Indiana's gonna win this one.
I mean, there's nothing really to look at here. I mean, it's Indiana or nothing.
That's why I asked how many home games were left, because I'm like, maybe if it's the last one, and then I was like, fuck.
Yeah, for sure. Roddy just got back up here, and then CFB Red Zone, my boy, also just came up here. But we'll let Roddy go first. Indiana and Penn State. Roddy, any thoughts?
Yeah. So I saw that Surratt is going to be either limited or not playing. Is there any news on that?
So Surratt injured his hamstring after 7 plays against Maryland. I haven't seen any update on him playing. They also are going to be down maybe Aiden Fisher, starting linebacker, and also the linebacker that came in for Aiden Fisher last week also got banged up. So I haven't seen any updates on either of them. I assume they're both questionable, or at least a game time decision coming in this game, but I don't really see that having that big of an impact.
Yeah. Now I held my nose and took Penn State in the first half last week.
You did?
7.5 is kind of a different number though, because it could be 10-0, 14-0, 14-3, and we're getting over that number. So I've been looking at this game. The line hasn't budged all week. I don't have anything personally.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell y'all. I mean, obviously, I think Indiana's going to win the game. Unfortunately, Reed, but I don't have anything that I love. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be a very much different dynamic in terms of how the game script goes because of Surratt not being there. I mean, obviously, they're going to try to run the ball. Fernando's going to air it out when available. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't got nothing on this one. Nothing that just jumped out at me, you know, and I love. So, yeah, I'm staying away.
For sure, bro. CFB Red Zone, my guy. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. Another day in paradise, so to speak.
Yes,
so
sir.
just want to really build off of what like Sosa was mentioning earlier in terms of the fact that they do have an interim head coach. This game is happening at home in Happy Valley. Normally that sounds like a good spot like for Penn State to make this close and interesting. That being said, two things that we found is that one, betting against Kurt Cincinnati, that is always a choice, and that's not maybe necessarily something that may be wise like from a financial perspective. And really just looking at Indiana's schedule for the rest of the year, it would be one thing if Indiana had a major matchup coming up down the road later on in the regular season. But look at the two games that they have coming up after the Penn State matchup this upcoming weekend. You got a home game against Wisconsin, which they have shown zero pulse under Luke Fickell. It is a miracle that he's still there coaching that football team. And then you got Purdue on the road to end the regular season. That is a rivalry game. So maybe some wonky things can happen over there. But Purdue is also one of those teams that hasn't really shown much of a pulse in year one under Barry Odom. So if this was a spot where Indiana was going to play a major matchup, maybe against like an Ohio State or an Oregon, I can definitely see Indiana possibly being on upset alert just because they could be sleepwalking because they're focusing on bigger and better things. At the same time, though, because that's not really happening, we might not see that until the Big Ten championship game. Listen, Indiana and Kirk Cincinnati, they're going to get Penn State's full attention, right? And so I'm going to be honest with you guys, like just the way that I also don't think that Indiana is really that checked in at this point in the year. This could genuinely turn into a bloodbath. And it could be a bloodbath from the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just put it in simple terms, they're one of the most locked in teams in the country. They do not overlook any team. I mean, just look at how they played against Maryland last week. Literally blew them out of the water. So,
yeah. And listen, like, I know it hurts your heart because I know you're a Penn State guy through and through. And listen, my mom was a Penn State guy too. I'm not trying to break my mama's heart, but sometimes the truth hurts. And the truth is, it could very well be a long day, but
that sounded crazy. That sounded crazy, by the way. I'm sorry. That sounded crazy. My mom was a Penn State guy. I'm like, I swear, I was like, what?
She left Penn State and went the other way.
I was just kind of like, what the fuck?
That's crazy. That's insane. No, but I totally agree. I get what you mean for sure. Lo, you just got up here as well. How are you, my friend?
What's going on, ladies? How y'all doing?
Bro, that's crazy.
I'm all right. How about yourself?
Changing places.
That's crazy. That's crazy work, bro.
What's going on, y'all?
Hey, man.
What's up, brother?
Like betting against Kurt Cincinnati is now a choice.
Shoot, isn't life full of choices? It's just whether you make the right one or not. Damn. Well,
hope y'all aren't making choices to be ladies, but yeah, gentlemen, what's going on?
Hey, 2025.
Yo, Red Zone, you're funny as shit, dog. I can't lie. That was funny.
That was good.
Hey, listen, man, I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, I like that. Lo, any quick thoughts on Penn State, Indiana, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, what did Ohio State do to y'all?
I would only look at the second half.
Okay, what was the final score? How much did they beat y'all by?
A lot to a little.
Same result.
Yeah.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Belt ass.
Was it worse than you thought?
Last week?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
It
literally
wasn't. I thought it'd be worse.
I literally said last week it was going to be Ohio State BTA. Not even a doubt. I'm just surprised we kept it that close in the first half. Once Roddy told me he was going with Penn State first half spread, I was like, "What are you talking about, bro?" I'm even just surprised we hit our team total.
That's my thing. Is like, they got to show something, right?
Something, bro. Any sort of life, for real. I think they still get a good turnout, especially because it's the first game at home since Franklin got fired. So
I do have a play in this game. I completely forgot. What's your quarterback's name? I forgot his name, man. I'm sorry.
Ethan Grunkemeyer.
Yes, Mr. Grunkemeyer. I'm taking it under on his passing yards, man. Come on, man. I mean,
what is that line anyway?
I think it's at 182.
Oh yeah,
yeah, man.
That's
going under, buddy.
Hammer that, yeah, for sure.
That's going under, buddy.
Yeah,
sorry.
for sure, not even a doubt, dude. His baseline on Onyx is 149.5. That's crazy. Yo, Colton, what's up?
One more thing I think we could look at is, I mean, Surratt. You said he's game time decision.
I think at least. I mean, I know he went out early against Maryland last week. I haven't seen anything about him playing.
I guess that's tricky, but the natural instinct is going to go to Omar Cooper there. But
Yep.
Mendoza loves to spread it out, so I would look at EJ Williams to perhaps get. I think he averaged. This is like 2 receptions per game. I don't know what his line is at, but I would assume that he's probably going to go over whatever it is.
Yeah, I don't hate that look. I mean, I was quickly, because if Surratt ends up not playing, Indiana's had 5 games this season that they've rushed for over 300 yards. They're the number 2 rushing team in the country. So anything Roman Hemby, I cannot say no to.
Yeah, that's a good play also.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Next game on the slate, I will let Roddy preview this one because he is our resident Georgia fan. Going down to Cowbell country. They are going to Starkville to take on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Let me pull up the live line, make sure I'm getting this correctly. Last time I looked, it was around 7, I believe.
Oh, it's at 9, brother.
Oh, well.
9.5.
There you go. So, Roddy, you got the preview on this one.
Yeah. Look, I don't really usually bet on Georgia spreads, but technically, we would have covered 4 times in a row if Gunnar didn't take a knee. And when I tell you I was screaming bloody murder in my house because that took us live 4.5, that goddamn Vegas, man, they fucking know, man. They just know. Fuck them, man. Jesus Christ, I was like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I took Florida plus 3.5 live at halftime. So,
oh my God, Jesus Christ. Anyway, enough about last week. I would be inclined. I mean, the line's moving in the direction. I think we cover. I do love the 2 plays that I love is Gunner's passing yards. 240. I think that's minus 115 on Onyx, and then I like Zach's. Or Zachariah, should I said. He does not like being called Zach. Zachariah Branch over his 66.5 receiving yards. Going to be a lot of yak opportunity. People have started the name Yakariah for him for good reason, as you saw in a couple of opportunities in that Florida game. Everybody's like, man, can Mississippi State pull the upset? I'm like, no, because I think we saw in the A&M game, and I think it's going to be pretty similar to where they're not going to really be able to run the ball all that much, which really does set up a lot of what they want to do. So, I mean, not to say it won't look ugly like it always does in the first half. I'm not outside of that. And them damn cowbells, man. Jesus Christ. I hate playing Mississippi State at Mississippi State because fucking hate them cowbells, man. It'll be dead silent in that stadium. As soon as they get a first down, I'm like, bro, like, shut the fuck up. But yeah, I wouldn't give it out as official to take us on the spread. I am taking it personally. It might be my fandom talking. But I like Gunner's passing yards over. every quarterback with a passing offense with a pulse hit the over in this game. So or at Mississippi State this year. So 240. I think Gunner should be able to get that. And I like Zach. That would be it.
For sure. We'll go around the block here. So Sosa, any thoughts for Georgia at Mississippi State?
No. Roddy covered everything.
Colton, thoughts on Georgia, Mississippi State?
I think Roddy hit the nail pretty hard on the head. I mean, Mississippi State, they found a way to stay in games. What is the spread at currently?
9.5.
9.5.
Yeah, that's the perfect number that I would have gone with if I were Vegas.
Yep.
Mississippi State's been inexplicable. I think they just have like the Jeff Lebby offense magic because their numbers on offense don't show how close a lot of these games have been. So I don't feel confident necessarily betting against the 9.5, although my instinct would say that just because Georgia's like way more talented. But you saw what they did against Texas, who has probably one of the better defenses in the country, and then Texas decided they had an offense in that game, so that ended up going their way, but in like double overtime. So this one's a tough one, especially with the 9.5.
For sure. Whoa. Any thoughts real quick before we move on?
Georgia. Everything like Roddy was saying, like the rest of the guys were saying, Georgia. It's that time of the year where wins are very, very important, and losses to teams that you should and are expected to win become vital. So Georgia is in the top 5 right now in the country, and I think they stay that way. And I think they play with their hair on fire. So I like Georgia big in this spot.
For sure. And I just wanted to, I mean, it is a noon game. Could be a sleepy spot for Georgia coming out of the gate, but just wanted to throw that there. So you got your hand up.
No coach in America understands the build to a championship better than Kirby Smart. I know Ryan Day has been blessed with extremely talented teams, but nobody is better at building throughout the year. And I think that Georgia's almost to that point where it's like, okay, we really believe in what we got. I think they're at that point. I just think that Georgia just runs through them.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, I don't see how that doesn't happen. Could see Mississippi State possibly hang around in the first half, maybe, but at the end of the day, I think Georgia comfortably wins for sure. Moving on to potentially the game of the week. We have Texas Tech hosting BYU, 8 Texas Tech hosting number 7 BYU. Spread on Onyx right now is Texas Tech laying 10.5. Total is at 51.5. BYU, I mean, their whole story is basically they love to run the ball. And Texas Tech is really good at stopping the run, playing just pretty solid defense all across the board. But I mean, the biggest thing is how is Bear Bachmeier going to, take advantage of his opportunities against this Texas Tech defense? In my eyes, one of the better defenses in the country. They do have a run-heavy offense, like I said, but they have a few receivers that can make a couple plays. LJ Martin, Chase Roberts is another one. So a couple of receivers that can make some plays on the outside for BYU, but does Bear Bachmeier have the ability to get it to those receivers against an elite defense, an elite secondary in the form of Texas Tech? Don't know if I'm gonna have a play on this one. I'm curious to hear the panel's thoughts about it, but as of right now, I am a no play on this game, but I lean Texas Tech to just win the game outright. Colton, we'll start with you, and then we'll go around the block.
Yeah. What is it? This one's 10.5.
Yes, sir.
Oh, I hate that number, but I think this is a spot where we're kind of accounting for some BYU Mormon magic. We've seen it the past I guess, every single game this year. They're 8-0.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like this has to be the end of the line, you know? They can't keep getting away with this. They can't. Like, there's no way. I feel like this would be a game where people come in like, oh, BYU 8-0 or 8-0, Texas Tech already with a loss this year. It's in Lubbock. Baron Morton had a solid game last week. We were kind of wondering how his health would be. He looked fine. I think this is one where we could see like a 21-point win for Texas Tech. So I would definitely lean Texas Tech covering in this.
For sure. Sosa, thoughts on BYU at Texas Tech?
Texas Tech fell to ass.
There you go.
0-0 said it correctly. They can't keep getting away with. Did you see the way they won last week?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Did you see the way? And did you see bro, like they're a team where like everything bad that can happen to the other team in inopportune moments has happened, and they have benefited from it all year. They're gonna go to Lubbock this week and get shit beat down their leg. That's what I expect.
So I love you, bro. Just how you say things is fucking hilarious, bro.
They're gonna get smoked, bro. I don't like BYU's just been. I think BYU has gotten very lucky, but that's part of football too. Getting lucky, luck is part of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm for sure. I mean, I don't see a world how Texas Tech minimum just doesn't win the game, period. But you know, BYU's definitely had some lucky bounces this year for sure, especially last week against Iowa State. Lo, any thoughts on the Mormons at the Red Raiders? I'm sorry, the Cougars at the Red Raiders.
Yeah, we talked about it Tuesday, throwing enchiladas or tortillas or whatever in the end zone.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a celebration. You know, like I said on Tuesday too, in Lubbock, that's all they have is college football and their college basketball team, and the whole city comes out for it. The whole town comes out for it, and that stadium gets really, really rowdy for it. So, similar to what the gentleman was saying, BYU can't keep getting away with this shit. You know, over $20 million worth of money spent on the defense, and it has showed. So I'm in the same boat with the fellas. I think it's Texas Tech BTA.
For sure. Appreciate you, boys. All right. Let me scroll down. Okay. Next one on the slate, 3:30 window on CBS. We have the number 9 Oregon Ducks going on the road to the number 20 ranked Iowa Hawkeyes. Oregon is laying 6.5. Total is around 42.5. If anyone has checked the weather report for Iowa City, Iowa, it is going to be a sloppy game. Temperatures in the mid 40s, rain expected the whole entire time. By the end of the game, it could be like sleet or hail. Like this game could get nasty on the field and weather-wise. Iowa, obviously, they only run the football. They play really good defense. They rank top 10 in total defense. They have one of the best rushing attacks in the country. And on the other side, Oregon, another great all-around offense and defense. They tend to lean more in the pass game, but they do have a really explosive run game. They rank they're actually first in the country in explosive runs, explosive by 20 plus yards, whereas Iowa has only given up one explosive run all season of 20 plus yards. So definitely a narrative to look at coming into this game is how the Oregon rushing attack faces this stout Iowa defense. Again, the number 6.5, I feel comfortable with Oregon on the road in the spot. It's going to be really low scoring, in my opinion. Lowest total of the weekend at 42.5. I could see that game going under. Again, I think Oregon ends up winning this game in a slop fest. Honestly, could get nasty. So yeah, does the panel have any thoughts on Oregon at Iowa?
I do.
Go ahead, Colton. You got it.
And it's radical. So just buckle up.
Uh-oh.
We saw a couple weeks ago Oregon play Wisconsin in, like Reed said, a slop fest. And Dante Moore gets beat up, yes, but Oregon doesn't look like Oregon. at least not the Oregon in every other game except the Indiana game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Iowa has genuinely a good offense. Like, not good for Iowa, like just solid. Like a solid offense with Mark Gronowski. They're not, throwing it all over the field, but they're efficient, which is something we haven't been able to say about Iowa for the better part of a decade.
Mm-hmm.
I think in Kinnick Stadium, I think Iowa wins outright. I will just say, like, I like Iowa to beat the 6.5, but I think Iowa could win this one, and I'm predicting Iowa to win it straight up.
I was about to say, I saw I watched your preview video. What was the score prediction you had again?
I had it 23-20, but I could see like 23-21, something in that range.
Yeah, for sure. Again, it's gonna be a tightly contested game, that's for sure. Roddy, you got your hand up. Got anything for Oregon and Iowa?
Yeah, I'm with Colton. I mean, thank God we got to see Oregon in a nasty, sloppy game. What was that, last week or 2 weeks ago? I can't remember. When they played
with Wisconsin.
Yeah, with Wisconsin when it was raining. Dante went out, broke his nose or whatever. So, I on the side, I've been really like, damn, like kind of debating like what do I go with on a side here? Because I do think talent-wise, Oregon should be able to cover this number, talent-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think that Iowa has some sort of dark magic at the crib. I mean, we were just talking about Indiana for the first game. They didn't cover in this game. And I know, Fernando did that thing, that Vegas gambling thing where he just ran backwards at the end of the game. So maybe they might have covered. I don't remember what the spread was. But yeah, I can't pick a side on this, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
The play that I do love though, and I'm looking this up right now on Doink. Shout out to Doink. A quarterback has thrown at least one interception in the last 5 games at Iowa, an opposing quarterback. Dante Moore to throw an interception. He's thrown 2 against Indiana. He threw 1 against Rutgers. He didn't throw any against Wisconsin, but that might have played a part of he went out early. I like Dante Moore, for even if you put a half unit on it for an interception at -115. I think Iowa's defense is what's going to really, mess with him in this game. I do like DeCorian Moore's yards, though. He's hit this number in pretty much 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 5 of the last 7, he's hit this number. I think he's going to have opportunities. I know Iowa likes to play a lot of zone. So it's going to kind of test him because, you got to be smart in zone. You got to learn to find the holes, pause, and, do what you need to do. So those would be my only 2 plays. I like Dante to throw an interception, and I like DeCorian Moore's yards, but that would be the only play. I think the under definitely could hit, but I ain't touching a 6.5. This should probably be at 7.5 if, we're just accounting for talent solely, but yeah, we're not. So that's what I got.
For sure. Appreciate you. So low thoughts on Oregon at Iowa at all?
Okay. I thought Sosa was going to go ahead, Sosa.
Listen, I hear a lot of people on Iowa. I'm hearing this all over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Dante Moore truther and believer. I think he's a damn good player, and I think that I'm cheering for him behind the scenes because I kind of feel like Ohio State's giving me evil empire vibes. And I feel like Oregon might be one of the few teams that can really give them a run in some capacity. I think that the reason why I'm siding with Oregon is this. Dan Lanning don't have no big wins, bro. And if he goes and loses to Iowa, I think people are going to start having to look at him a different way. And I just think I think his team's got to know. Listen, we got to deliver for our coach in this one. I think that I think Iowa will give them a game, but Oregon's the more talented team. I gotta trust and believe that. I believe Oregon wins the game. I know
Mhm.
I've seen a lot of people on Iowa, a lot of people, and I'm not hating on Dan. I think Dan's a hell of a recruiter. There's not 5 guys coach is better at recruiting in America than Dan Lanning. There aren't. But if we're talking about winning big games, at some point he's going to have to put up or shut up. And I think this is one of them games you can't lose to Iowa. You can't. I don't think it'll happen. I think it'll be competitive, but I think that talent wins out, and I think Oregon is talented enough to beat anybody. I think that I just can't find it in me to believe that I was going to score enough points or stop the talent base from being successful for 60 minutes. I just can't believe it. So I might be on the other side of some of you, but personally, I just can't bet against Oregon in this spot.
For sure. Well,
I think for me with Oregon, man, I just really haven't been impressed with Oregon this year. They really haven't shown me where they're top tier. I mean, I know they're ranked up there pretty high, but when you look at their schedule and their body of work and who they've played, I don't know if maybe the Indiana, kind of put a bad feeling in my brain about Oregon, but I saw an Oregon team that kind of just gave up in that game. So ever since I saw them kind of give up, I kind of gave up on Oregon this year.
Yeah.
One thing we know about Iowa is that they play, some really damn good defense. And when they're playing at home, this game is at night or in the day? It's day, right?
3:30. Yep.
Okay. If it was at night, I was gonna say no shot in hell that Oregon wins in that damn stadium at night. But for sure, I could see where Iowa pulls out an upset here. And to be honest with you, if Oregon loses this one, Oregon's not making playoffs. So it kind of is like a do or die type of game for them. They've already got one loss. I don't think that they can afford to have 2 losses being in the Big 12, especially with Indiana and Ohio
10.
State. Oh yeah, my bad. In the Big 10 with Ohio State, Indiana, and stuff like that. So hopefully they do win, but if they lose this one, you can go ahead and kiss Oregon's season goodbye.
Yeah, that brings up a good point. I mean, the initial rankings already dropped them 3 spots from the AP. I mean, their best win is 3-5 Penn State team, I guess, or Northwestern. Northwestern's 5-3. I guess Northwestern is their best win. So, yeah, I mean, their resume is not a whole lot right now, but this would definitely boost it for sure if they end up winning this game.
I got a question for you. Who's the best team Michigan's beat?
Nebraska.
Oh, okay.
Who are you thinking?
No. I'm just saying, like, if we're going to talk about the Big Ten as a whole is ass.
Yeah.
Like outside of 3 teams, they've all been ass.
Big Ten's a very top heavy conference. I've never understood why a lot of people make an argument for the SEC against the Big Ten and all that bullshit. It is clearly the SEC, and then there's a second tier. It's not even close in my opinion.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
they're going to
unless
say you're biased. They're going to say you're biased.
Outside of Ohio State and outside of Ohio State, I don't, like I said, I think that the conference this year, for the most part, or I guess Indiana. So I keep disrespecting Indiana. That's my fault.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see anyone making a Big Ten, Netflix series about any given Saturday. I don't see them doing that. So, just my thoughts. That's a very good point, though, Sosa, for sure. All right, next game on the slate, we got Texas A&M, number 3, Texas A&M going on the road to Columbia, Missouri to take on the number 22 ranked Missouri Tigers. A&M is laying 6.5. Total is at 48.5. This is A&M or nothing for me, personally. I mean, I fully understand Missouri, really good defense, really good defensive front, really good against the run specifically. Some question marks on that back end for sure, but I think the main play here is A&M or nothing for me, just solely because Missouri is without Bo Perbula now. They're turning to a true freshman quarterback in Matt Zollers. Zollers. I mean, Missouri's going to rely heavily on the ground due to that. Zollers can get jiggy with it a little bit, but they're going to rely on Ahmad Hardy on the ground. They're going to rely on that defense to hopefully make some stops. But I think Marcel Reed is in a league of his own at quarterback. He's probably my sleeper pick to win the Heisman right now. I mean, I said a couple Mondays ago in Low Space that, I mean, he was plus 750 to win the Heisman, like fourth best odds. That's a great sprinkle of any quarterback to win the Heisman right now. So I like A&M in the spot. I like A&M with the number. I think they win this game by at least 10. I think Missouri could just come out deflated. I mean, you're without your starting quarterback. You're coming off a really tough loss to Vanderbilt in that process. So give me the Aggies here. I think they keep rolling, and they really just look ahead to the Longhorns at the end of the season. We'll start with Roddy since he's got his hand up.
Yeah, and just to forecast a little bit, I think I saw Pate tweet out that I think for the SEC championship game, which in my opinion, it's already said it's going to be Bama and A&M.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got Bama favored by 3. I think they got Bama. I'll look it up. It's either Texas A&M is going to be a dog, and I do not agree with that.
3.5. Bama's a 3.5 point favorite.
Oh yeah, I'm putting my life savings on that. Now, anyway, in this game though, the biggest matchup obviously is going to be Texas A&M's offensive line versus that Missouri, front seven.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, me seeing a lot of Damon Wilson, the player he's developed into over there in Missouri is amazing. Wish he was still at Georgia, of course. But it got down to 6.5. For a minute, and then it went back to 7. So I don't see there being a situation or scenario where Missouri can cover, to be honest with you. I mean, I understand that Zollers is a good quarterback. He was highly rated, but at the end of the day, I think it's just going to be too much A&M. And we did see A&M go on the road and struggle with Arkansas, who we think stinks. We know stinks, actually. So I'm not saying that A&M is invincible at all. This is obviously a way better team in Missouri than, they faced at Arkansas. But, yeah, I just think they're focused. This is the first time they're going to play for an SEC championship since they've been in the SEC. I think they got their eyes on a prize similar to Indiana. So, I'm laying it with the Aggies.
For sure. Colton, any thoughts on the Aggies at the Tigers?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Like Roddy said, was it Damon or Damon Wilson? I can never remember.
Either one. I don't know. The Georgia's radio announcer calls him Damon, so I don't know. Damon, maybe. I don't know.
Him and Zion Young they're going to impact this game. How much is the question? But if they can get to Marcel Reed, get him on the ground, maybe force a turnover in this game, I think it could swing Missouri, but I'm not going to necessarily count on that happening. I think they could pressure him and kind of get him off his rhythm, but as of right now, I don't trust a Matt Zollers, as talented as he is, led offense for Missouri to go out and beat the number 3 team in the country.
For sure. Whoa, any thoughts?
I'm a fan of Marcel Reed, man. I think that he finds a way to get shit done. When a game is needed to be won and needs to be put on his back, he definitely fucking does that for his team. Like the defense too that Elko has his guys playing right now. Tough task for Missouri losing their quarterback. Give me Texas A&M as they see everything that's right there in front of them. They know what they need to do. Just keep winning, keep playing good football, and I think that they do that. So I'm running with Texas A&M here in this spot, laying the number.
For sure. Appreciate you guys. All right. One last game I wanted to break down, and then if anyone has any specific game they want to talk about or best bets, stuff like that. But we will let our resident LSU fan, Lo, talk about the skeleton, the corpse, the the dead body of the LSU Tigers going on the road to number 4 Alabama. Alabama is a 10-point favorite at home. Total is at 49.5. Whoa, does LSU have any chance to pull off the upset on the road?
I'm not going to say they pull off the upset, but this game is going to be closer than what the damn spread says. I can tell you that right now. I absolutely do think that, traditionally, whenever we play Alabama, those games are they come down to like who has the football last, or they're typically within inside of a one score possession type of game, whether it's 7 points or it's 3 points. 10 and a half points is fucking ridiculous. All right. I understand that they're doing that because they feel like this LSU team is out of it. Let's be clear. This LSU team still has talent, right? We still got Nussmeier. We still got wide receivers. Our tight end is still one of the better tight ends in the league. I mean, in the country. Our running backs, we have a dual running back there with Durham, and also with our young boy. I forgot his damn name, but he's I think Barry. He's looking fantastic too. I think the only thing that this LSU team needed was a coaching change, right? You could tell that the players were tired of Brian Kelly. They didn't want to play for him anymore. And now I think with Wilson in there, from what I've been hearing from the bye week and in the week leading up to this football game, practices have been phenomenal. Guys are flying around. Guys are highly spirited. Guys are ready to get on the field and play some good football. So I like LSU to cover the number. All right. Do I think LSU wins? I don't think so. It's always tough to go into Tuscaloosa and pull out a win. But do I think that they can keep it inside of this number? Absolutely. I think that it will come down to a 3 to 7 point game. And if they fuck around, Alabama fucks around with us and allow us to get that final drive in, it could be potential for upset. But 10 and a half points is way too many points for LSU here in this rivalry game that happens every year. And each of our teams come off of a bye before this game. So yeah, it's just ridiculous. The number is super overinflated for no damn reason, all because our team is pretty much out of the playoffs, but we're not out of the fight, and we still do have good players on that roster.
For sure, no doubt that roster. I mean, it was still a preseason top 10 roster on paper. So I completely agree with that argument. Roddy, you got your hand up.
Yeah, man. So I really want to. There are two 10s that we talked about. It's BYU and LSU. I really want to take LSU, man. I can't lie, but the offensive struggles are just, they hurt me to watch that, especially when I bet against them against Vandy. So I would maybe look at a first half spot, if anything. It's at 6, a flat 6-2. That kind of indicates maybe LSU can keep it a little close in the first half. And I've said this all year, like, Ty Simpson's been carrying Bama, man. Like, I think he's the runaway Heisman if things continue on. Like, he's been carrying them. They haven't been able to run the ball that well. They've had receivers in and out. I'm still asking where Ryan Williams is. I don't think anybody's been able to answer.
He is probable to play in this game, by the way.
Oh, yeah, he's probable to play in the game, but even if he plays in the game, I mean, he's got 394 yards on the season this year?
Yeah, yep.
Like, I get it. He's been dealing with injury, but he hasn't been great at all. So, I think they have a bevy of options receiving-wise. I think I really want to take LSU, man, with the 10. I agree with a lot of what Lo said. I might not get to the window on it, but my inclination, especially with how the spread is, I mean, it's minus 115 for the plus 10. So I would be inclined to take LSU, but I would be scared.
I'll remember that when we get to Lowe's space on Saturday morning and we get to this game, and then you just lay it with your chest. Colton, any thoughts on LSU at Alabama?
Yeah, I agree for the most part with everything everybody said. I know I've said that like 3 times, but everybody just so happens to be saying all the right things.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. Hey, the only people that come up here are people that know ball. Just want to throw that out there for the people and the listeners. The only people that come up here and speak no ball. So
nope, none. But yeah, I mean, everybody's talking about like Lane Kiffin, John Sumrall, all these different people who
Yep.
could get the LSU gig. Frank Wilson's the coach. He is the coach. This is his job to lose currently. He is the interim, but I mean he's interviewing for the rest of the season, and he lives and breathes Louisiana LSU football. He went to Nicholls State, right? Or he played there.
Yes.
That is correct.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like what Lowe said about practice and how they're going from a guy who was essentially just a figurehead, kind of just the guy in charge of the program that nobody really heard from or, you know, looked up to a guy who lives and breathes the program. I mean, most of the time we've seen it every year or every week so far that we've had a coach fired that the team gets juice.
Yep.
Like the new Heisel Tim Skipper combo for UCLA. Now they made a pretty decent situation out of what looked like perhaps the worst season in UCLA history potentially. But I think I agree with what Lowe said about how the guys are going to get up and play, especially with it being a rival in Alabama. I don't have them winning, but I have them beating the 9.5 or 10.5. I think it's probably like 3 or 4. I think LSU probably looks like an LSU like night and day difference. We see an LSU team this week where Garrett Nussmeier is firing on all cylinders. The running game, I think we could see that just become like an excellent point of attack for them out of nowhere, just because we got guys in there who care and they're not just phoning it in every week.
For sure.
But yeah, I definitely would look at LSU to beat the spread here.
Yeah, I mean, everyone up here said really great points. Like LSU's essentially playing with house money. Like they have nothing to lose the rest of the year. I mean, their playoff hopes are practically over. SEC hopes are probably over, like all things considered. So, I mean, this is just like Florida last week against Georgia. Like I was saying last week, this is practically their Super Bowl. You take down Alabama right now, I mean, I would question them making the playoffs then. Like, especially with that loss to FSU at the start of the year, like, and where FSU is now. Alabama would definitely, be on the outside looking in potentially. So LSU could spoil their season. That's for sure. Well, all right. Appreciate everyone's outlooks on the games that we previewed at the hour mark on the dot. Upset alerts, best bets, other games you guys wanted to preview. Free to shout them out. I'm open to anything.
How the hell is Florida still favored after that injury report came out?
Well, it is Kentucky. How? It is Kentucky.
Kentucky's 2-0 in the last 2 weeks.
Also, can I point, just because you brought that up and I'm now seeing it. Can we get Kentucky's schedule like changed, bro? Why do they keep getting all these damn night games? Hey, what's up with night games in Lexington?
Look, I will be respectful to my guy Lowe because he's up here and he's my dog, and we had a very, sentimental moment this afternoon.
We did.
But 82% of the Louisiana State Tiger games since 2021 have been at 6:30 Central or later. That's all I'll say.
What was the percentage?
But 82.
Holy
82.
Shit. Holy shit.
Since 2021. But I cannot explain. Their best 2 receivers are out. No one catching passes this year for the Florida Gators has caught a passing touchdown. I just want to put that into perspective as well. They have offensive linemen out. They have defenders out. They have the wide receivers are out. They got running backs out. They really only on offense proven guys that have been consistent this year is Jaden Baugh. That's it. Like, DJ, if you want to say he's even been consistent, he's going to be there. But still, like, that is it. So I'm shocked. I have no idea why that line hasn't budged, and that scares me. I did personally still take Kentucky to win the game, but I don't know why that line hasn't moved. So maybe Vegas thinks that Florida can still pull it out, but that's just me. Another 4 touchdown spread with the Miami Hurricanes. Interesting. I'll just leave that.
Damn, now you said, of course, you said that just as Hurricane dropped off too, bro. you had
my bad.
to wait
Look.
for him to drop off.
Look, Hurricane knows. I'll say it to his face because they fucking hold me last week, and I thought they was gonna win and cover. They hold me. I see a lot of people on UConn, which is, I mean,
that's a great basketball game that's happening on the football field this weekend. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah, best of luck. I see a lot of people on Auburn. Best of luck. The one game I'm looking for, and please feel free to get off of the mic and berate me. I think Clemson gonna win. They haven't won a home game since the last year.
They've lost 6 straight home games to Power 4 opponents.
I think they're gonna win though.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know why, but I think they're gonna win. I mean, look, the defense. Good God, man! Like those, they're always touting, man. There's Peter Woods. You know what I'm saying? He's going to the NFL. All these NFL guys on their team.
Mm-hmm.
I just the defense has been ass, man. So that's confusing to me as well. I think 2 games that I can't get to the window on that I probably won't is Clemson. I do have a play in the FSU game. I like Tommy Castellanos passing yards. I also like what's the boy name? Mekhi Danzy. I like his receiving yards. What's the name? Clemson's been giving it up to wide receiver 2s. I think every single wide receiver 2 has hit this number against Clemson, so I'm taking that as well. But that is really it. The other game that I'm not getting to the window, I want to take UCLA. I mean, it's very hard to throw 7 passes and have 7 yards. Very, very difficult. It's not like USC is like 04 USC. So, but it came in a tricky spot. Quarterback breaks his leg. You got to come in. Do your thing. So I get it. A week of preparation could affect that. But the line's been going the opposite way, so that's to stay away from me. And UCLA, funny enough, has been way worse at home than they've been on the road. So, but that's it. That's all I got. I like Thomas Castellanos' passing yards. I like Micah Dancy, his receiving yards. I kind of like Clemson to still win, and I really want to lay it with Vandy too, but I'm gonna stay away just for this week.
For sure. Appreciate you. Well, best bets, upset alerts, any games you want to talk about?
My best bet is definitely going to be LSU plus 10.5. Upset alert. I think Iowa. I think Iowa can definitely do it. I think.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think. Damn, I forgot his damn name. O&O Sports. I forgot. Starts with a C.
Colton.
There you go, Colton. Yeah. I think Colton was on to something. I think Colton was the one who said that, right? About
he did
Iowa.
say that, yeah.
Yeah. I think he's on to something with that one, man. Once again, I'm not sold on Oregon at all this year. Schedule has been mediocre, and they're gonna be going up against one of the better defenses that they've seen this year outside of Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
And they had Fitz versus Ohio State. So wasn't it Ohio State? No, Indiana. Right. And Indiana's a good defense, and they're going to see another good defense in Iowa. So and they had trouble scoring the football. And most teams that go up against Iowa have trouble scoring the football. So that would be my upset. I think Iowa can go ahead and put old Oregon out of its playoff contention hopes.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Couple games I have on upset alert. Auburn, again, just fired their head coach. We've prefaced it with other teams tonight. Fire their head coach. They got everything to play for now. Watch out, Vandy. 6.5. Just watch out. That's all I'm gonna say. I had another one here. Sorry, Roddy. I'm probably gonna be on Florida State this weekend. I just can't. I have nothing to go with Clemson on. I don't even know how they're favored in this game other than they're the home team. So Cal is getting 18.5 at Louisville. That potentially could be too many points. I think Louisville still ends up winning the game. 18.5. Like Cal hung around with Virginia last week. I get it. It was at Cal, but yeah, 18.5 could be too many points. Not calling the outright upset, but just think Cal could cover that number. A team that could be on upset alert, almost were the last 2 weeks. Virginia, I'm telling you, they are going to get caught one of these weeks. Could potentially be this week with Wake Forest coming to Charlottesville. Virginia is laying 7. Wake Forest, bro, I'm telling you, sneaky hung around with SMU and beat them outright a few weeks ago. So watch out for the Demon Deacons in Charlottesville. That's all I'm going to speak about that. And I pretty much think that's it. Also, don't hate the Canes for touchdowns. Roddy, also agree with that. That could be too much. Yeah, put out a tweet earlier this week. There's a couple basketball games happening on football fields this weekend. Kansas at Arizona and Duke at UConn. So watch out for that. Yeah, that's all I got. My official best bets come out tomorrow afternoon. Colton, any final thoughts, upset alerts, best bets you got?
Yeah, it's a little tricky going after y'all because y'all took a lot of mine, but it's fun. Iowa, like I said, Iowa. I like Iowa. I love Iowa even. Virginia, I like that one as well. Wake Forest has shown up, has been able to punch up. If we remember Georgia Tech, I mean, arguably should have been a win in that one. And then I would say Notre Dame is interesting to me. I don't know what it is or
Thank
which
you.
lines
Thank you.
y'all are.
26.5 Notre Dame's line.
Yeah, it's the same on FanDuel. 26.5 is funny to me. I feel like this is, I mean, I feel like the Boston College game last week is kind of the markets are kind of adjusting for that. They're like, ooh, Notre Dame didn't really show up for that game, but I don't think they were ever going to show up for that game. I don't think they needed to show up that game. They could have ran with their third strings and probably beat one of the worst teams in the Power Four. And
they don't need to show up. They don't need to show up the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could argue that. But this is a Navy team that they played North Texas last week and gave up like 100 points or something. Something close to that.
Hey, 34. Don't talk about my midshipman like that, bro. Relax.
Well, unfortunately, they are at the receiving end of this bet here. I mean, they scored 17 against a North Texas team whose defense hasn't been like stellar this year. They've been good at times, but not like lights out. I feel like Notre Dame, if they could sleepwalk and beat Boston College, they can sleepwalk and win by 4 touchdowns at home versus Navy. I'll just say that.
Navy team total 13.5, by the way.
Yeah.
Navy to score 2 touchdowns. Yeah, I don't know. All right. Any closing statements from the panel before we get out of here? All right. Appreciate you guys. Everyone have a great week 11 of college football. Starts tonight. We got a couple games kicking off in a few minutes. My plays for that, we are I was about to say something way out of pocket. We are taking a lot with Byron Brown tonight. Love Byron Brown against UTSA tonight. That play is up in the jumbo. I'm also going to put props space up in the jumbo if I can pull it up. Okay, I can't pull it up, but I'm going to go over to prop space. I'm sure the other speakers are as well. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Have a great week 11 of college football. We only get 3 or 4 more weeks of the regular season, so take advantage while you can. We will be back on Monday for low space, or Saturday. I can't forget Saturday. And then Monday for the recap, and then Tuesday will be college football chatter. Same time, same place, around 5 o'clock Eastern. So appreciate everyone tuning in, and we will catch you next week and on Saturday in Low Space. Appreciate you guys. See ya.